Many years ago in Russia, and I want you to listen carefully, communist Russia, for 100 years almost, Russia was closed to the gospel of Jesus. The Christians met underground. They were persecuted. Bibles were very rare. It was very common among the Russian people to have only a portion of the Bible. If they ever found a Bible, one family would take out the Gospel of Matthew. They would tear it up. They would take the Bible and tear it up. One Matthew. You keep John. You keep the book of Acts. You keep Exodus. Some people only had a few Psalms. And they would read it and memorize it and write it down. This was only 100 years ago. They didn't have a full Bible. And then they would circulate portions of the Bible. And one day an American a missionary came into the Iron Curtain and he was preaching to them. And they were so fascinated. He brought them Bibles, smuggled in Bibles. And all of a sudden, for the first time, they all had Bibles. And the people of Russia sat down and they said, "Teach us." And so he began to teach us the words of Jesus. And he began to teach them about Mount Sinai and the Red Sea. And he began to teach them the Sermon on the Mount. And he began to teach them all of the discourse and Jesus' words and Jesus' miracles. And they'd heard a little bit in their churches. There were normal and traditional churches, but they were not born-again churches. And here was this born-again pastor preaching the Bible. It says as they listened, tears were rolling down their eyes. They had never heard, and their hearts were burning for Jesus Christ. He finished preaching 1 hour. And he said, "What do you want me to do now? What do you need from me?" He said, "Preach some more." So he went on for another 45 minutes. He said, "What do you want now?" He said, "Preach some more, teach us some more. Come and have a drink, come and have some coffee and preach some more." He preached and he preached and he preached and he preached. A whole day they had him preaching the Bible. Why? Because they wanted to know God. Oh, that we would have a love for this book. Oh, that we would never neglect the most important thing, knowing God. I've chosen you. Will you go through kakopathia? Will you go through sufferings, hardships for the sake of Jesus as a soldier? When you go through maltreatment? When you go through human opposition, divine and circumstances or hard times? I want you to remember this week that God sits as a refiner besides the crucible. And He's looking, and He's got a purpose in your trials. That He's refining you as gold. He has a purpose for your life. Never think that He's put you there to burn you. He's put you there to make you gold. And He has a plan for you. And even in the crucible of your life, He is speaking. He is speaking. He is ministering. They put the 3 Hebrew boys in the crucible, right? Remember that? The fire was turned 7 times hotter. The king said, "They're surely dead now. Let me go look." And then the king said, "Look, look. That is amazing. That is amazing. The 3 boys are walking like as if nothing's happening in the furnace. They're untied. They're walking loosely. They're just walking as if there was an air conditioner inside. I don't understand it. Hey, look! We put 3 inside, but there's a 4th man in the furnace, like the Son of God." I'm sure we're going to believe in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's God. Who was the 4th man in the furnace? It was Jesus. And that's so beautiful for us to remember, that when we go through our seasons, which we cannot explain, and when the furnace gets hotter, Jesus walks in. I want you to notice something else. The 3 Hebrew boys came out, but where was Jesus? He was still in there. He's still there. He's waiting for you when you go in, so that you can fellowship with him. And when they came out of the trials, it says their hair was not singed, their clothes were not burnt, there was not even the smell of fire. And when we go through those difficult times, we need to remember to fellowship with Jesus. Don't be occupied so much with the trial. Just go on and on and on. Because soon God is going to take you out. He's going to strengthen you. David said, it is good that I was afflicted, because before I was afflicted, I constantly went astray. But now I delight in your word. I love you. I honor you. It is good that I was afflicted, because now I have compassion for others in their trials. It is good that I was afflicted because, Lord, now I see you. Before I was only hearing about you, Job said in Job 42:5. But now my eyes see you. I know you now more than I've ever known you.